Hey, this week I am in Nashville, Tennessee. Well, not really Nashville, it's kind of like the Franklin area, but I flew into Nashville. But that's not why you're watching this video. You're watching this video for this vehicle behind me right now, which is the Hyundai Santa Fe. This is all new for 2024, and I already have a walk around of this vehicle, so I'm not going to do that in this video. I'm going to link to that up here. What I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to tell you, now that I've had the chance to drive it, 5 good things and 5 bad things about the 2024 Hyundai Santa Fe, and I'll give you some driving impressions too. My name is Jill Ciminillo with Pickup Truck Plus SUV Talk, and yeah, let's take a closer look right now. I'm just going to jump right into the like list here, and before I flip the camera around and we get into it, I want to tell you there are more than 5 things that I like on the 2024 Hyundai Santa Fe. These just happen to be the things that stand out the most to me as exceptional features. So, now before we dig into it, I should say that my likes and do not likes are based on the calligraphy trim of the 2024 Hyundai Santa Fe. So this is the top tier trim, and this is all of the stuff that you can get on this model. So, yep, we're going to start here. You finally, on a top tier head unit system, so you've got the glass that goes all the way across, and this is the top tier system, 12.3 inch screen. You finally have wireless Apple CarPlay. Previously, you would get wireless Apple CarPlay with the dinky screen in the lower head unit and infotainment system, but once you leveled up in trims, you lost wireless Apple CarPlay, and it was a very big non sequitur. It was weird. So you have wireless Apple CarPlay finally on a top tier trim with a top tier infotainment system and a large screen. I like how it looks. I like that it fills out the screen. You know, I like that it's curved. I like all of the things, and yes, I especially like that it is wireless. Now, the other thing that I like is going to be this right here. You have buttons and dials for all of your high touch features. So if you want to hit the home button, which will take you back to your main screen, you can do that. You can go into your map, your search functions. You've got a seek and a track button. All of that is good. You've got a volume dial. You can even crank your audio, so like you can tune through your stations like that. All of that gets a very big thumbs up. The even bigger thumbs up that we've got is going to be for the HVAC system. You can change your temperature without taking your eyes off the road, because you'll be looking and you'll be like, oh, I'm just going to reach down and crank that up. Yes. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, you do have some capacitive items here, so your heated seats, your heated steering wheel, like all of that is probably going to be stuff that you're really going to set before you get in the vehicle and before you really start driving. Your fan speed is also, you know, this capacitive thing. So, that to me is fine. I'm totally fine with that. But I like the fact that this looks good, although I will say it is going to get a little bit fingerprinty. But I like the fact that it looks good, and, you know, that the things that need to be hard buttons are actually hard buttons. Including the camera, which, by the way, appears really nice on this large curved screen. It's really kind of high def. I like the forward-facing view as well as the around view. And yeah, I didn't park between the lines. I did it on purpose so that the screen would be at my back, or the sun would be at my back. So don't judge. So those are the 2 of the top things that I really like on the Hyundai Santa Fe 2024 calligraphy model. And to show you some other things, we've got to take it backwards. Moving back into the back seat, I will point out there are captain's chairs here, and that is because this is the calligraphy trim. This is the only option. There is no bench seat available in this model, but that's not what I like back here. What I like is the fact that you have a lot of really nice amenities. So you've got the heated seats, you've got a little screen that you can pull up so you can get the sun out of your eyes. You've got 2 cup holders here in the door, and then you have this little drawer here that you can pull out to hide some of your devices or things. But this is one of the things that I think is really cool. the designers created a bi-directional center console area. So yeah, you can open it from the front like this, but if somebody in the back stored something in there, you can also open it from the back. And I think that's kind of cool. So this becomes a more functional storage space for more than just the driver or front passenger. The backseat passengers can use this as well. And okay, I'm going to point out that is my driving position. This is not going to be the legroom most people will have. I always say that I have limo-like, I provide limo-like driving experience for people who sit behind me because, yeah, that's a lot of legroom. But so the third thing that I like is just all of the amenities that you have back here, including, your air vents, and then, like I said, the heated seats, because I'm a big fan of heated seats. Now, the fourth thing on my like list is actually going to be the third row of the Hyundai Santa Fe. And I've gotten a lot of questions about this because this is a smaller SUV. This is not on the bigger side of the spectrum. And so people have asked me a lot about legroom and seat comfort, and I just want to say this is really well done for a vehicle of this size. First off, they only put 2 seats back here, so you will have a lot of hip room and shoulder room. You're not going to be crowded. The seats themselves are actually comfortable, so you have some well-padded seats. And then when you look back here, you have air vents here, USB-C port, but this is the clincher. You actually have the ability to control the air vent back here. So you can turn it up or turn it down. So if you're feeling a little car sick, you can turn it up. But if you're getting cold, then you can turn it back down, or you can turn it all the way off. So I really appreciated the fact that you have this actual control back here so that you control your own environment, and then, you can move the air vents in 4 different ways. So up, down, and right and left. So I really like this third row seat, and I will point out this seat here is in the far back position, and I still have a lot of foot and knee room, and I say I'm about the size of an average 10-year-old, and I'm comfortable back here. And I think that you're going to put a 10-year-old back here, so that just this is a big deal. For a vehicle of this size, this is a really well done third row seat. Now, outside of this really spacious and generous third row, which is a surprise, I'm going to point that out again, all of this is a surprise for a vehicle of this size, but outside of that, what I really like is what you can get for the money. So this is the laminated sticker sheet for this vehicle, and all in, you know what? No, I'm not even going to tell you all in yet. I'm going to tell you what's included, and I want you to get a number in your head of what you think you would pay for this vehicle. So it's the top tier calligraphy trim, and you have things like heated and ventilated front seats. You have heated second rows. You have the climate control back here in the third row. You have heated steering wheel. You have the digital rear view mirror. That did not make my like list, but that is likable. That is very likable. So digital rear view mirror, the large infotainment screen, wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Digital key. We didn't even talk about digital key, but you can, with the app on your phone, turns your phone into a key, and just walk up and it acts like a key fob and the door unlocks. You don't need to take your phone and tap it to the door anymore. You just, again, treat your phone like a key fob and you're allowed into the vehicle. You can even use an Apple Watch as a key. That is great as a runner. Also getting a thumbs up. So, all of that is included in addition to the 2.5 liter 4-cylinder engine. You've got, Napa leather. You have a UVC sanitizing tray up front. You've got the dual wireless chargers. Dual pane moonroof going on. Oh, what else? So much stuff. You got so much stuff. Okay, do you have a price in your head? And I will say this is like a suede headliner too that's really lovely. What do you think? What do you think this costs? I bet it's a lot less than what you think it is. All in, this vehicle costs, I'm reading from here because even I can't believe it. All in, this vehicle, all of this stuff, $49,905. Yeah, that's a really big like. You get a lot of shit for less than $50,000, and that includes the destination fee. All of that gets 2 thumbs way up. All right, now that we have talked about the things that I like, it is time to move into the do not like list. And I'll be honest with you, it kind of has to do with this, but not really. It actually kind of starts back here instead. So let's check that out. All right, so here's the thing. With the 3rd rows up, your cargo area is not ideal. It's actually pretty awful. So this is my backpack, and it just barely fits back here. You know, I guess I could kind of put it upright, but you could fit 3 backpacks back here, maybe a roller board or 2, I don't know, but you can't fit backpacks and roller boards back here. So this, if you actually want to take a road trip, you're gonna need to put something on the roof. You're gonna need to have like a little tow for your cargo stuff or your luggage, because it's not, there's no way any of it is fitting in here. Like I can't even put my backpack sideways in here. So this is just definitely not utterly usable space unless you take this and put the rear seats down. So let's see. Well, sorry, I know this is like very one-handed and weird. So when you pull that strap, it pops the headrest down and then flips everything forward. Now this is actually really good usable space, and when you put the 2nd rows down as well, you can fit a mattress back here. You could have a really comfy camping space to sleep inside, off the ground, away from the elements if it's raining, that kind of stuff. So with this down, this is very, very usable space. But if you're going to have passengers and things, you're going to have to find an alternate for either the passengers or the things. So you're going to have to find an alternate for the things is the end of that story. Now, the other thing, this is going to make number 2 on my list that I just kind of am not a fan of. You have a lot of really nice features. You have, you know, the 2nd row power seats here going on. So again, 2nd row power seats, you only have to press the button once and the seats go down, and all of that is really good. But if you want to put the 2nd row back up, you have to use this flap that you hope actually caught on the back of the seat and didn't flip up that way, because then you'd have to crawl into the vehicle. And to pull, there's just a little bit of a, you know, like a moment where you're trying to grab this tab and you're like, it just doesn't want to move. And maybe somebody who's taller wouldn't have the same problem, but it's just a weird kind of angle or a torque issue to get it over that hump. It works. But it's just a little bit more difficult. And if you have these lovely power seats, which by the way, work one touch on the way back up as well. So you've done the hard work for these 2nd row seats, which again, I appreciate the fact that you can do that from this 3rd row. Why couldn't we do something similar for this? I wish this was just a little bit easier to put up. So, I mean, not a big deal, not a deal breaker, not a deal breaker. Just, let's say it's a wish list item. How's that? All right, the 3rd thing on my list has to do with lighting, and I really love the lighting signatures. I like the H design, but here's the thing. When you come around to the back of the vehicle, your blinker in the rear is right here. I like how it looks. It's just really, really low. And so my concern would be that people wouldn't see it if they're tailgating or if they're not paying attention because it's so low. And I know that's not a you problem. It's a them problem because they're the ones who aren't paying attention. But it becomes a you problem if they hit you because they don't see that you have your blinker on. I know people shouldn't tailgate. I know that people should pay attention, but they tailgate and they don't pay attention. So to me, I'm just a little bit worried about the placement of the rear blinker being so low. Now, I understand why they did that. You know, they have this really wide opening lift gate because they want to give you a lot of space back here with those seats down to be able to load things in. But that meant that they had to push the light housing down on the tailgate, and I just worry that's a bad idea. And yeah, I think that's a bad thing. I'm putting it on the bad list. I'm putting it on the do not like list. Yeah, I'm doing that. Now, the fourth thing that is on the bad side of the spectrum is going to be this right here. They always say the path to hell is paved with good intentions, and I think this is one of those features. This is supposed to be a handhold. So if you want to put something on the roof, presumably you're going to have to step up there and, you know, put it up there. So they created this handhold so that when you open this door, you can put your foot here, put your hand here, and then hoist yourself up. But here's the thing. Okay, I'm short, but that's just awkward. That is a really, really awkward position. So your left foot here, your right hand there, your left hand is going to have to go on the top of that roof rack to help pull you up. So I don't know if that's the intention. Maybe that was the intention, but I just think that's an awkward reach, an awkward location. You know, for this to work, it's almost like the step needs to be right here. So good idea. I mean, there was space there. They needed to do something with it. That's what they did. Good idea. But in actual fact, I don't think that works very well. I'd be very curious to see somebody taller try to do that, but I still don't think it's going to work well. My partner was 5'6", my drive partner, and she even was just like, nope, that does not work for me. So it's not just me, it's somebody who's 5'6" also who thought that was awkward. So I don't know. And the other thing about this is going to be, okay, in the winter, is this going to freeze? Is it going to fill with snow? Yeah, I don't know. Is it going to break? I have questions. That also makes the bad list. All right, we're going to move back inside to talk about the final two things that I don't like, and it should come as no surprise to you that this right here is going to be one of those things. I love the idea of the dual wireless charger, and I think that they did a good job with the implementation of it. This is like kind of a rubberized material. It grips your phone in place, and your phone doesn't move. And if you have like a case on it that has like to protect your lenses on the back of your phone, you know, this is raised up so it doesn't hit your phone at an awkward angle. Like this is well designed. I think they did a good job with this. It holds your phone, and when your phone is charging, like this actually lights up so that you can tell your phone is actually charging. But here's the problem. It overheats your phone. And I've said this once, I will say it a million times, I will keep saying it until somebody listens to me. There was almost an expletive in there. I will keep saying it until somebody listens. But if you're going to do a feature like this, which is really flipping cool, make it work. Like, make it work. My phone overheated, my partner's phone overheated, and we got notifications on our phone. Charging has stopped until your phone temperature has dropped enough to resume. And you know, we've been in the car all day. So we've had our phone on these chargers all day long. And so they would stop charging, we would take them off, we would like cool them down, you know, put them in front of the air vents, we'd put them back on here, and then it would stop charging again. So a cool pad, a vent, something, anything to make this not heat your phone up. I put my phone on a wireless charger every night when I go to sleep. It never overheats. How is this a problem? How is this a problem? It's a problem, and I don't like it. Drives me nuts. This definitely makes the bad list. All right, so the final thing that I want to talk about on the bad list is going to be something you can't see right now, and that's the problem. The gear shift, which is right here. And okay, this might be a muscle memory thing. I've literally only been in this vehicle for 8 hours. But your gear shift is here. And, you know, as somebody who's not necessarily familiar with how it operates, I had to like duck down, and I'm like, okay, to put it into drive, you go like this. To put it into reverse, you go like this. And then park, you push, you know, the end of the button. But it's kind of an awkward location because it's kind of hidden behind your wheel. And again, somebody who is owning this vehicle, this maybe not a big deal because you're just gonna drive, reverse, park, and everything is going to be fine. But it's just, I don't know. This blocks it, and it's a little bit weird for me. So like, there were a couple of times we'd pull into a space, it'd stop, and I've got my foot on the brake, and we're just kind of chatting, and I'm like ready to get out of the vehicle, and I'm like, oh wait, no, I still have it in gear, don't I? I think I still have it in gear. But yeah, okay, I could look here as well, and it would tell me whether it's in gear or not, but I don't know. Again, muscle memory, something an owner would comment on, and I'm going to point out, except for this, which is really annoying, none of the things that I brought up on the bad list or the do not like list are really deal breakers. I mean, even this isn't a deal breaker, just don't use it. But, you know, I just felt compelled to point out some of the things that I found on my drive that annoyed me. And yeah, that rounds out my list. So I'm just going to, let's talk about driving impressions. How does this drive? All right, it is time for some brief driving impressions, and we have been driving on narrow, windy country roads, which is what I'm on right now, and we've taken this off-road, some gravel, some rocks, some wheel lift, and you know, we've been on the highway. We've done a few things in terms of driving this vehicle, and what I want to say is overall, first impressions are incredibly favorable. Pulling out onto a main road, you've got some nice acceleration going on, and when we were on the twisty bits, this held the road fairly well and didn't feel like a 3-row SUV. Now, it didn't feel like a car, let's be honest, but it handled really well. It took the curves, the straightaways, and everything the way that you would expect them to do. So I don't know, I feel comfortable. I'm on the shorter side of things. I have great visibility out the front and the side. There are no major blind spots. Like the side mirror doesn't create what I like to call a swirling vortex of black. And it feels good. This is one of those vehicles that you can get behind the wheel of and just feels comfortable. Now, as we noted, there are a couple of things that are a little bit annoying, but for the most part, I think those can be overcome with muscle memory. And this is everything I wanted this car to be. It can handle some mild off-roading. It's really comfortable on the highway and country roads. You've got comfortable seating for at least, you know, the first and the second row, and I will say some occasional nice seating for the third row, but obviously the trade-off is going to be no cargo room if you use the third row. So if I had to sum up the 2024 Hyundai Santa Fe into one sentence, it would be hard, but I would say this is a really great option for a smaller 3-row SUV that has excellent driving comfort and really good visibility, and by the way, it just looks really flippin' cool. All right, that is what I have for you today with the 5 good things, 5 bad things, and some driving impressions on the 2024 Hyundai Santa Fe. So, thanks for watching, and I will see you down the road.